Basically, at its current state, Airsoft is a no-go in Canada if this bill passes.
What's up guys, and welcome to today's video in which we talk about the Bill 21 that's gonna be passed in, hopefully not gonna be passed in Canada soon.
We have to stop it.
Yes.
Watch this video, it's important.
Exactly, that's why we make this video. We're also gonna talk about Airsoft all over the world and how, gel ball is banned, Airsoft gets banned and all of this. And also I would like to introduce you to Alex, who is new on the channel. He's actually a team lead at NOVRITSCH of the development team Charlie, and he did the SSX33 and also the SSG96, so you guys have some context. Good. Bill 21.
Canada.
Try to explain it, Joseph.
So basically, we all looked at it, we read the text. Basically what it says, if this bill passes, airsoft guns will be banned and you guys in Canada cannot play anymore. That would be bad. Unless it doesn't reassemble closely a real firearm. So if it's, let's say, a Halo gun, a gun that reassembles a video game gun from Halo, for example, I believe then it is still legal. Yeah. But it's still 99% of all airsoft guns will be illegal. Basically, at its current state, airsoft is a no-go in Canada if this bill passes. Exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. It's that serious. Like, we are not trying to find loopholes. How could it work or not? If this goes, you're done. So, Alex, what can they do? What can people watching do to stop this?
Yeah, I think they need to basically contact their government or whoever is in that country to actually try to stop this bill, because it doesn't really make any sense, and I don't think it's going to be any better. If this passes, it's not going to solve the problems I think that they intend to solve.
I think the representatives are called MVPs or something like that. MPs. Anyways, link in the description. There you can find, who you have to contact in order to stop this bill from going through if you are from Canada, Canadian citizens. So with this video, in general, we want to raise attention towards this, but really, we're not lawyers, but actually we linked the video of a lawyer. We are lawyers. No, but actually we are lawyers. No, this is actually not funny. There's a link in the video description where a lawyer talks about what's exactly happening. You should watch it, especially if you are from Canada, because you want the sport to continue. There's also a video linked of House Gamer who talks about it from the perspective of an airsoft player. But yeah, check it out, please take action. But now we're gonna talk about, in general, how airsoft laws and like gun replica laws, nerf laws, gel blaster laws develop all over the world. And I have some insights into this because, we are an international running business and we struggle with this. Because airsoft is what we do, like on the side. We have some insights a little bit. But before that, I also have a drink here that I started to drink recently. Yeah. It's super healthy, so we are not
sponsored or something.
No, it's not sponsored. Don't show it. Don't show. It's supposed to be healthy. My mom showed me. Come on. But it's not good. It's not good.
Does this help us with prohibiting those laws?
It's actually very strong, like ginger flavor, and it's not good. Funny that I'm saying that.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's like drinking peppers, hot peppers.
But it's healthy. Okay, let's move on.
Great.
I like weird stuff, so I like it.
Okay, I'm gonna first bring up Australia. So in South Australia, which to my knowledge represents 10% of the population of Australia, so it's not Queensland and all that, in South Australia they banned gel ball. And here, to have some context, airsoft is not legal in Australia, paintball is legal, but people tried to find an alternative to airsoft, which is why they came up with gel ball. There was a quite good community built in South Australia around this, and it's really impressive to see what the community does. It's very similar to airsoft. Like the guns work the same way.
They even have hop-ups, don't they?
They have hop-ups, which are at the end of the barrel, funny enough. We actually have gel blasters around here.
They're funny.
They're funny, yeah. They still hurt, they're still cool, they shoot okay-ish, and basically the government took away what this community was built around, and people were protesting. They were actually going on the street and they were like, give us our hobby back, we're a community. And great that they did it. Yeah, because if everyone stays quiet, and this is gonna happen in Canada, if no one does anything, it's just gonna pass. Yeah. It's just gonna pass.
With that being said, like if you try to do something when it's already done, there is very little chance that you can reverse it back.
It's a lot harder. Yeah.
Yes, so you have to act now. I thought you are the healthy guy around here. Come on, you finish this by the end of this video.
Yeah.
Don't get sick. Okay, if you don't act now, there is very little chance to reverse it after it passes. So link in the description, go there, take 5 minutes and do something about it. Otherwise, you are not playing Airsoft soon.
Yes. Now, this happened in Australia. Now let's talk about China. In China, Airsoft is illegal since forever, I think. So no one plays Airsoft in China, but also, just like in Australia, they were like, how can we get around this? Because it seems like humans have the desire to shoot at each other while having fun and not killing each other. Because you see it all around the world, no matter where it's illegal, they always find a solution to work around it with either nerf or gel ball, or they just throw snowballs at each other. Yeah?
I heard that humans in general have a need to launch projectiles because it's somehow satisfying for our brain.
I believe that.
I agree. I mean, I like launching projectiles no matter how. Yeah. Like I was building bows. That's why kids build bows, the spears and I don't know, whatever.
If you think of the Neanderthal, like the early man, they always have like the tools to throw, to hunt with.
Because they enjoyed it so much.
First. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the first things, so I think it's kind of embedded into our
They needed it, but then
instincts.
So like did they first enjoy it and then use it for hunting? Or did they use it for hunting and then
I think the second one, the latter one.
But anyways, back to the ban. Come on.
Okay, back to the ban. So in China, they banned gel balls, gel blasters, actually very recently. No one heard about it because, there's a huge barrier when it comes to language, culture, and, China being China and banning the whole internet. No one really heard about it, but we heard about it because, again, we do international business. Yeah, it's illegal there. And
what happened?
And that's the funny part. So there's a lot of gel ball factories in China which were kind of like...
Please don't do this because the microphone is standing here.
So they were kind of like, great, how are we gonna do business now? Yeah. And at the same time, the population and this community that was just, killed within, passing one law.
Just like one.
Yeah, they were like, we want something to continue this, and the factories were like, we still need to make money. So they are actually now, at this very moment, they're developing insanely cool nerf blasters.
Nerf blasters?
Yeah, nerf blasters.
It's shooting darts?
It's fully automatic nerf blasters, and it's not the kind of stuff that you buy at a Toys R Us. Man, those things are legit. They have nerf blasters shooting like 60 meters far. I mean, they have to lob them, they shoot like this. But they shoot really far. They have springers, they have automatic ones.
But basically what that means, they lost the battle.
Yeah, they lost the battle. So for the Canadians out there, and many, many other countries where something like this can happen, if you don't want to, shoot nerf darts, take action, do something.
Definitely. Like, how many Canadians play Airsoft even? That would be interesting to know.
I mean, first of all, in Canada, how many people live in Canada even? I think it's 80 million or something. I think
no idea.
It's a huge country, but it's not that dense. But I would assume the community is kind of like Germany, which is big. Like it's a big community. Yeah?
We are getting questions all the time, like, "Hey, can we get this gun and this gun for Canada?" And
it's not a small community. Yeah? If you look at Austria, just multiply it by 10. That's what I assume is the community.
I think like Toronto is the size of Czech Republic or something like that.
Yeah,
just one city alone.
But there's not a lot of big cities actually in Canada. But anyways, it's multiple thousand people. Like we're not talking about 5 guys. This is a legit community with not just hobbyists involved, but also there's like business owners.
Yeah, already developed.
Yeah.
It must be. And it's so close to the United States, which has one of the biggest markets.
Yeah.
So it must be already developed quite a lot.
And fields also.
Like also, yeah.
How is it
they have a
field
lot of room to actually make fields.
So Alex has a retail shop in Romania, like a brick and mortar store, walk-in store. How would you react if someone would just say, hey, in Romania we are trying to pass this new law, and it would actually just, kill your business basically? What would be the actions that you would take?
Well, it kind of actually happened already. They tried to pass a bill sneakily, to kind of ban airsoft and everything that resembles a real firearm. And luck would have it that we had a lot of airsoft players which were actually involved in politics.
Yeah.
So they basically lobbied and they dismissed the bill because it was, in the end, it was just baloney. It was no real facts, like just wishful thinking. Yeah. They actually thought that a guerrilla is actually developing because of airsoft. So that was the reasoning. Yeah. So it got dismissed, but I think it was very important that airsoft players that were actually involved in politics took action about this.
Yeah.
But then again, in a country like Canada, I would say the population will have a bigger impact. So basically start a petition and present that to the representatives and also like push on it.
Just
like
go against the bill.
Go against the bill, exactly, and but also argument it. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like you're ruining a business and also a hobby for people, so which doesn't really do any harm at the end of the day. So
and
that's why it doesn't make sense.
The bill doesn't do any good.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't know how they argument, but most of the time it's like things. If you know one or two things about the whole topic, you realize, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Like trying to ban guns, not even real guns, does it gonna like lower criminality or does it gonna prevent the bad guys from actually having real guns? I don't think so.
Exactly. And frankly, there are way better options, like way better solution to mitigate such a problem. If you insist that is a big problem.
There's
many solutions, many ways in order to do this. Even with two-tone colors at least, or I don't know, like something.
So it is possible to do something about it. That's an example from another country. In Czech Republic, we also had this recently. EU is trying to, restrict our real guns, what we made out of it. Now suppressors are allowed and NVG guns, NVG scopes on real guns. So we were able to turn it around and actually we went out better than before. So you can do something.
Another example of how a country did it is the UK, because you need to be, don't nail me down on details, I don't live there, but there's something called UKARA, which is like an airsoft club and you can be a member of it. And only if you're a member of it, you can buy an airsoft gun that's not two-toned. Now a two-tone gun is where I think at least 50% of the gun has like some neon colors and like green or blue or something. Which means that, you can see from afar, okay, this is not a gun replica. And if you want the full black one, the real looking one, you need to be part of this club and they think they check you in certain ways. I don't know the details about this, but it's not that easy to get it from my understanding.
It's just a license.
It's a gun, it's a replica license, yeah.
Which is not, it's not that big of a deal. It's a step back, I would say, in some way.
But at least they can still play airsoft.
But then, when something like this happens, actually the whole club can, voice their opinion and they will be way more visible than individuals to the government or to the officials. So that's a pro.
Which is how it is in the Netherlands with the NABV. And I know that a lot of people hate on the NABV, and I'm not too involved. Again, I don't live in the Netherlands, but from my understanding, they actually made airsoft legal in the Netherlands, that's an absolute big deal. And
it's like from zero to legal.
Yeah, it's 0 to legal, and I don't know if they abuse it or not, and there's lots of different opinions on it, but man, they made it legal. Yeah, they deserve some claps right here. The way it works there is also that you have to pay a yearly fee for this organization. It is a non-profit organization, and they just are politically active and they represent the airsoft community as a legit institution. So that's how it works there, and I think the general idea is good. Yeah, depends on the execution, of course, but generally that's not bad, I would say. Ideally, of course, airsoft would never be attacked and, we can all just do what we do. But if it's not like this, I'd rather have an organization that takes care of it than it being illegal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we end at this?
Should we what?
Should we end the video at this?
I don't know. I think there's actually a lot more.
We could talk more.
Keep going.
I could keep going. I have some other countries actually. Okay.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's look at Singapore. So in Singapore, anything that's gun like is illegal. Like Singapore is one of the most strict countries it's like what China is now after gel balls are banned. So there's no gel balls, there's no airsoft. I think, okay, don't nail me down on this one, but I think paintball is illegal as well. So while in Australia paintball was still legal, which is not a bad option, in Singapore your best bet is nerf. Which is why in Singapore, before gel ball was made illegal in China, and now there's nerf companies popping up in China for professional nerf playing. This already happened in Singapore a couple of years ago. So they do have, I think, €1,000 or US dollar worth nerf guns. Yeah? They're like full CNC aluminum, and they're pump action. They shoot really good, and they have like drilled barrels. So it's again very cool to see. I mean, very sad, of course, that they cannot play airsoft, but it's also cool to see what a community is capable of. That this desire of playing this, this hunt and seek.
In the end, you always find a way, but why should you lose what you already have?
Of course, it's sad, but if you guys are interested in what they do with Nerf, man, go check it out. It's really interesting. Yeah, they make Nerf blasters shoot really, really well. It's not the Nerf blaster that they're pretty cool.
Yeah. I think because a lot of adults actually went into the hobby of Nerf. That's why I think, because when you think at Nerf, you kind of think at toys, you think of kids. But now it's becoming more and more of an adult's game, which is a bit weird.
It's a serious toy.
It's a serious toy. I kind of like it actually. Yeah. Which is not in reality, because it can be damaging. It can be painful. Like it can't really.
I got shot by
multiple times less painful than airsoft. Even a 1 joule airsoft. Like with a heavy BB, you feel it. It stings a lot. Like with a Nerf, it's ultimately it's rubber, so it will dissipate more.
It's true. It hurts less, but it can still. I don't want to be shot in the eye by a Nerf. Still, like
obviously,
there's still dangers to it.
Obviously,
I think they lose energy way faster, don't they?
I would assume so, because the density of the density versus the surface that creates the.
And they don't really spin. They don't. So they basically
actually they spin. They spin.
They have fluted. They have rifled barrels.
They have adjustable rifled barrels. Actually, you can adjust. Yeah, there's like a nut in front, and you can turn it, and it adjusts the tightness of the barrel. And the tightness of the barrel, it's like a hobby, Like the tighter you get it, the more spin it applies. Yeah.
I mean, but. At that speed, I wouldn't see it flying super straight with rotation.
The only thing that is left is adjusting the twist rate for different weight projectiles.
Changing the length of the barrel and the twist rate.
I mean, you can take it as far as you want it, basically, in even a toy. Like you can make it
money.
I feel
or need.
Yeah. Maybe if they ban this, they're gonna make snowball machine guns.
People are
and getting hit by a snowball, like the icy one.
Pre-iced water gun.
Pre-upgraded.
Okay, what else is happening? You also have South Korea with a joule limitation of, I think it's 0.2 joule.
0.2?
And the DAS, there's a South Korean gun, which is the DAS. It's the absolute fancy AR-15, the gas blowback electric mix thingy.
So it's just electric blowback thing.
Yeah, it's very polarizing. Some people hate it, some people like it. But this comes from South Korea, and I think when you're getting it, you get it disassembled because they're not allowed to assemble it in the country, because then it shoots over 0.2 joules. And when we are selling like an SSG-10 to South Korea, we actually take out the spring, to my knowledge, because only then you can get it into the country. And I've seen spring sniper rifles which have a 0.2 joule stick on them at IWA, and you rack them, and it's like the gravity of the ball charges your spring. It's ridiculous.
It's like putting a spring from a pen inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's
you actually develop more energy by blowing a BB through a barrel.
Yeah.
A lot more. I think it's 0.3.
Yeah, you can't do that.
We tested it.
You can't do that in South Korea.
Yeah, you can.
So they're gonna box you in.
So if you have a barrel, you are actually convicting felony or something.
Yeah.
You're shooting
if you
over
just have
the
a barrel
0.2
and a BB in your mouth, you're done.
Okay, then we can look at other restrictions like Japan, for example. In Japan, there's also some absolute weird laws, I think. I mean, the 1 joule law, you can argue, not as dangerous. Maybe you could argue, but one very funny law is that pistols are not allowed to have metal slides, which is why Marui pistols have plastic slides. It's not a design decision. It's a law limitation decision.
Why?
And
Why
this,
would that
this,
be?
this I
mean,
don't understand, because it's not that I can distinguish a plastic from a metal sight from 5 meters away. Like you can't. Especially the marui plastic just looks absolutely metallic. Yeah.
If you cannot distinguish this, you will certainly not distinguish like plastic, metal, anything. Like it will look like a gun no matter what.
Yeah.
Maybe if you are a pro, if you've seen these guns like 1,000 times, and then you see, okay, it's shining a little bit different. That's a plastic slide. But
even the shine, like when you look at the marui high, how is it called? High cycle, high cap, the super extreme, so high cap
Desert
extreme
Eagle,
45.
Desert Eagle, the chrome version.
Yes, the chrome version.
Looks shiny.
Yeah, because the chrome, I don't know how they do it exactly, but it's like chrome plated or something. So you do have the metal surface. Yeah. But it's plastic.
But it's plastic, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't do anything.
I think it's because like outdated laws, and also like this goes a lot deeper than this. Like that's why they put so many restrictions.
Have been
but I
passed,
think it's outdated.
Like way before Airsoft was
it's actually before Airsoft was developed.
I think there's sometimes well intended, but the people don't see the cause of it, like what it's gonna actually cause, and then they don't see how people will find workaround, like the bump stock, for example. Yeah, people just always find some ridiculous workaround around.
Or the arm brace. Instead of the stock, you are supposed to shoot a rifle like this, and the stock actually goes around your hand, and of course it works the same when you shoulder it, of course, but it's an arm brace, and then it's actually a pistol. Like AR-15 can be a pistol in the US.
I know, yeah. A pistol brace, AR-15, yeah.
You wanted to talk about, what was it?
Canada,
yeah, with the current law that is in Canada, because now they require every airsoft gun to be over 366 FPS.
For import.
For import.
1.2 joules, right?
1.2 joules, like minimum, which really makes no sense. Like it begs... just
you don't even know what to say. It's like,
it begs belief. Like, why would you insist on having a minimum speed which is over than most countries' maximum?
It's basically saying, oh, this gun, it's not powerful enough, so it's dangerous. We don't want it here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not powerful enough.
I think what it boils down to is I stated about this, and he said something that if it shoots lower than this, it's not a sporting good anymore. It's like a replica that reassembles a real firearm, which an airsoft gun is also. Man, I don't know the details, but I think again there was a reason for it at the beginning, but then airsoft came along and it made no sense anymore.
Or maybe just the people making these laws, they just don't know. They just don't know. They make laws about bread, and it has to have, I don't know, 50% of corn in it, whatever. Yeah. And then they get like guns on the table, and they're like, oh, let's do this. It sounds familiar. I've passed a law about crude oil, so let's just make a law about guns now.
This is unfortunately like kind of like laws are made like generally.
That's exactly how it's made.
It's no matter the
people just
field.
don't know.
When it's something that's a bit more technical or something that actually you need to be a bit educated into that domain, it becomes difficult because you can't do that at a public hearing or I don't know, like the representative. You can't really do that. You can transmit that knowledge overnight to somebody that they then will make the law. Actually,
it would be easy to just have a consultant. Like, I have to make a law about guns. Let's ask people who know something about guns.
Yeah, but then you need to have something. You need to have a formal representative.
It's just not convenient, I guess, for them. They just write something. Okay, out the door.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if it's old laws that kind of need to be renewed, you need to have that I don't know, like somebody to take care of that. People on the street, even if they sign a petition, that's only the first step. But somebody needs to follow through with it and actually do it.
So we are coming back to the beginning. You have to do something.
Yes.
Go, link in the description.
This is what this video is all about. Yeah, we're just giving you some examples of how bad it can get. Another one.
And how good it can get as well.
Yeah.
Your country turned it around. We actually gained from it. Like, it can be done. Yeah. And I'm sure there is more examples than
in
this.
Austria, you can do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. It's really cool in Austria. There's like no limitations at all.
Can you
Except the age, 18 years.
Can you even have like a real gun?
No, for real guns it's horrible.
Like shotguns?
That's great.
Can you at least have a shotgun?
You can own guns, but you need a gun owning license, or you need to be a hunter.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
it's fine. Yeah.
Because I once I heard that.
But only two. You can only have 2 guns in Austria. But anyways, this is not about guns.
No.
Now, another thing that got passed a couple of years ago was in California. If you are a shop, you have to wrap your gun in the retail shop with orange tape. And, this also, you would argue, if I buy it, I'll just take off the tape. Like, how does this make a difference? And I talked to some people in the US, and the law always represents usually, I think, a very, very long story and a long fight. And people told me that they kind of wanted to ban airsoft as a whole. And then, all the airsoft industry and they all kind of like work together to make this stop. But they still had to do something because the major population requested something. So they were like, let's just make something that, let's just do whatever.
Let's give them something, but
let's give them something to just shut up. And this was kind of like the best bet. So it's a result. It makes no sense that they do it now, but in their situation, it was the best decision. Just to give them something right there.
Which has minimal impact on the end customer anyway. So it's a good...
But it has minimal, like we wrap some of our guns in America with orange tape, which is a huge hassle, yeah? I mean, every gun case you have to open, you wrap it with tape.
Costs more money and then you have to remove it, and orange tips. Like recently I was removing an orange tip to show the US people how that can be done, because then it's when you buy the gun, then it's legal to remove it. So... right?
Yeah.
You want to show people how to remove it. Man, it was actually not easy.
Yeah, because it can't be easy. That's the thing. Yeah. It's not allowed to be. It says with household items, you should not be able to remove the blaze orange tip, which blaze orange looks absolutely ridiculous.
And in the end, what sense does this make? Okay, let's say this is a gun. It has orange tip. Oh, it's an airsoft. True or false?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't need to be airsoft. I can paint my real gun in orange and it's legal.
No, it's not legal, but it makes it look like it's a toy. No, it's not legal.
I can make... What? In California,
it doesn't become legal if it's a real firearm.
No, it's legal to paint it. If I can have a gun, I can legally paint it orange, and then the law doesn't make sense at all, because now you have orange painted real gun.
Yeah.
And it's not an airsoft gun.
I mean, in my opinion, the real crime here is that they didn't update the laws as they went along. They just kind of figure out a quick solution. Okay, then this works, but then they didn't actually update them. They just stuck with it, which is, I think it's an old law also with the red orange tip. But obviously now it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm not sure who does that. Like if that was even a thing. If
it's just people who have no idea.
If they painted real guns to try to mimic as an airsoft gun and then try to do something. I mean, I'm not sure if that happened. I think it's fairly easy in America to get a gun.
I'm sure if I would, or if we would ask somebody who's actually pro these regulations, like anti-gun, they would have millions of reasons. To me personally, it just doesn't make sense.
We also, to be fair, we only represent our perspective, yeah.
Yeah, we are from Europe and we are fine, but
yes, I do have to say, I don't want to defend those people, but to be fair, a country has much bigger problems than airsoft, right? So if I'm a law guy and I see there's people starving because we fucked up this law, and it's like, there's something with toy guns, they don't know about it. Whatever, just pass it. Like, we have to save people's lives here. What about this small community? Whatever. So I do a little bit understand how they don't do the research. Of course, it affects us in a bad way, but man, those people have, they have maybe very, very, very other important things to do. Which is not an excuse, but I think that's one of the reasons. They just look at it and go, why would I even spend time of this one at the same time? There is, Corona going on, and there's people running out of business, and there's people starving, and there's this and that. We need to have to focus on other things.
But then you
just don't change the law, I guess.
Just don't focus on this. Yeah. I would rather have no change than a bad change. Hopefully objectively bad change.
This is why it's so important, as you said before, that action needs to be taken now before it actually gets implemented, before it gets passed. If once that happens, it's 10 times more difficult to change it. Now is the time to intervene and stop the course.
And just open their eyes okay, maybe they will think about it again and they will actually figure out, okay, this doesn't make sense, or we are hurting this airsoft community or something. And then you have a chance. But once it's done, nobody's gonna go back, because you are essentially just putting more work on their table. Nobody wants that. They're like, okay, it's done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay. So I think we're through. Again, the Canada one is now very recent, but this video is not just about Canada. It's actually about the entire world and the general trends that we're seeing when it comes to firearms, firearm replicas, airsoft paintball, and all of this. So take action at every single, bill that's about to be passed. That even if it's just a small influence to your sport, try to stop it from the very beginning, because it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And at some point, we're gonna be throwing snowballs at each other, and that's what we want to.
Also, what I heard from the UK, right now there is a tendency to actually get a bill into the, however it's called, reading or something. Apparently there are tendencies now to ban airsoft.
Yeah.
I just heard that today, like I was watching a video. Something is going on. I don't know anything else, but I heard that UK also might be in trouble soon.
Well, yeah, take action. If you hear anything, immediately do something about it, because again, otherwise we will not have our hobby anymore. Thanks for watching. Check out the links in the video description about the lawyer talking about Canadian laws, House Gamer talking about it, and again, sign petitions, talk to local politicians, and watch the advice that those people in the other videos will give you. See ya.